2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline report tonight is Doris Burke. Handling the Eastern Conference, this DC crowd hoping to watch their Wizards come out on top. And so off the tip, it's Washington's ball. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Lowry and Ross pairing up in the backcourt. Amir Johnson at the 4 with Valanciunas at the pivot. And it's DeRozan in at the 3 spot.
Well, the Wizards signed John Wall to that max contract extension last season, and he rewarded them. Made his first All-Star game appearance and led the team back to the playoffs for the first time in 6 seasons.
Now here is Lowry, just 4 to shoot, and that one's on target from the wing.
Kyle Lowry.
All with it. Passes it to Beal. And that one's good.
And Wall finally adding a consistent three-pointer to his arsenal last season. He shot almost 4 threes a game and made them at a 35% clip.
Now here's DeRozan. Back to Lowry. Johnson inside. Nene on him, and the shot is good from Johnson.
Amir Johnson. Assisted. Kyle Lowry.
Now here's Wall. And Steve, defenders can't just go under on screens any longer defending John Wall.
Yeah, that outside shot keeps defenders honest, and it opens up driving angles and passing lanes for John Wall, who's one of the most explosive players in the league.
Now here's Wall. The high post shot. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Now Lowry. There's the pass to DeRozan. The rebound by Gorchak. It's Pierce on the wing. He's guarded by Ross. Wall dishes to Beal. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Nene, I think, an underrated defensive player. Not a move laterally, so he can really move and cover the pick and roll and switch on to guards, an effective defender.
And Nene, for his size and agility, at times somewhat disappointing in terms of rebounding the ball. Throughout his career, actually, his rebound rate has fallen steadily over the last 3 years. Maybe injuries a factor in that, but they do need more from him on the glass.
And so Nene nails both of them. You talk about the subtle decline for Nene. Is scoring efficiency, Steve, also taking a turn for the worse over the last couple seasons?
Yeah, still in his early 30s. You know, age shouldn't be that big a factor for a big man, but I guess it's the accumulation of all those injuries, including his knee sprain last season, that may be taking their toll.
Well, they ran a nice play there, Kevin, to set up the easy dunk.
Yeah, he got help from his teammate and ran his man right straight into the pick.
Yep, and that's the offensive player's job. Run him into the screen.
And it was a great pick, too, Clark. I mean, he may have lowered his shoulder a little bit, but he got him pretty clean.
That shot was made possible by the work of Nene setting the screen.
Outside Lowry. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
Pierce. And good, coming off the assist by Wall.
How about this? They're shooting 80% so far. I know it's early, but offensively, they look great.
Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. Gorchak with the steal. All with it. Lowry picks him up. Outside, Pierce. Wall against Lowry. Shoots a fader. Another one falls for Washington.
Well, they've settled into their offense very quickly here today.
Yeah, they're zoned in, making the most out of their possessions here.
They set the screen. And Valanciunas now atop the key. Wall against Lowry. Into Johnson. And that'll be Toronto as it goes out of bounds. Raptors retain possession.
4 seconds on the shot clock.
They've done a terrific job rebounding here so far, allowing no second chance points.
Guys, a potent offense right now.
Yeah, Kevin, really the offense is flowing quite nicely right now.
Playing with a lot of confidence, just some self-assurance there. I like what we're seeing.
That's his first.
Nene, a 6'11" Brazilian big man, strong and quick-footed with a nice touch. He's a quality two-way player. And for him, as it is the case with a lot of players, it's about health. You know, over the course of his 12-year career, he's missed almost a third of available games due to injury.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Wizards.
And the points they're getting in the lane will really help them open up the floor.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, there could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up.
Good on the second free throw. Well, you talk about Nene's troubles at times staying on the court, Steve. Some say he's unwilling to play through pain.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the case. You know, all I know is that when he's healthy, he is one of the most effective big men in the NBA, and he had a terrific run in the playoffs last year, particularly in that Chicago series. Big step forward in the play of Terrence Ross last year, and you can see why fans are excited about his growth. He has the physical tools and skill set to become an elite wing player.
And with Ross, he said that he models himself a bit after Paul George and how he wants to continue to grow as a player.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah,
PG
nice
already
compliment,
being,
too.
that's a great compliment, already being looked to by some of the younger players in the league. And you're right, Kevin, not a bad guy to model your game after, because PG is an excellent two-way player.
Well, there were a lot of amazing performances last season, but one that I didn't see coming was Terrence Ross notching 51 points early in 2014. That was just out of the blue.
Good on both. And with Ross in his big point explosion, Clark, the opportunity was there for him. It was after the Rudy Gay trade, and DeRozan was out at the time.
Yeah, and it showed just why Toronto is so high on Terrence Ross. I mean, he still needs to grow a bit as a player, but anytime you can score 50 or more in an NBA game, you know you've got game.
Now Lowry following the three-point attempt by Pierce. Back to Lowry. Toronto working the ball around now. Johnson down, need to get a shot off. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. DeRozan's got his second bucket of the game to go.
The shooting percentage is really solid so far, fellas. Good start to this game for him.
Wall dishes to Beal. Fade away. They shoot again. No luck. They battled on the glass but couldn't knock it down. Raptors trail by 3. They set the pick. Lowry with the ball. Picked up by Nene. Ross with a wide open look. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. It's stolen by DeRozan. And oh, here we go. DeRozan. No. Oh,
Get it! Oh, watch out now.
Boy, nice one-man fast break on that one.
It sure was a stylish finish to cap it off, too.
And Wall kicks to Nene. Hands the 12-footer. Nene's got 7 points in the game.
Really nice work inside there. He'll always give you a battle on the interior, guys.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
For a lot of players, leading comes naturally, but for John Wall and the Wizards, his teammates had to goad it out of him in order for him to start leading the way. When he did embrace that role, it did wonders for the franchise.
Raptors trail by 3. To the inside. Pierce with the steal. Outside, Wall. Nene outside. Back to Wall. Outside for Nene. From the baseline. And Wall gets it to go in on the assist by Nene.
As far as Wall and leadership, seemingly been hesitant to lead his first few years in the league, but it's become more prominent the last few years as he's gained more confidence. He's grown more comfortable in his role.
Johnson attacking. The rebound by Gortat. Gortat's got 4 rebounds in this game. Beal the pass to Wall. Nene setting the pick for Wall. And Beal kicks to Nene. From 8, and he gets it to go. Nene's got 9. John Wall certainly seems to have the respect of his team, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. As a young guy who's running the point guard position, his teammates have great confidence in him as a leader. And you can
Play taking it to the rim against the big man.
Tell you what, I love that fearless attitude.
Pierce against DeRozan. Beal dishes to Pierce. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From 17 feet out. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
This is just great anticipation. The putback jam.
Oh, he had some big-time intentions right there.
And those plays will give your team a huge boost.
Now here is Lowry. DeRozan a screen on Wall. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. A 3-ball, and that one's good. DeRozan's got 9.
That's 4 of 5 to start this game, guys. He's rolling.
Washington leading now by 4. Outside, Wall. Nene setting the pick for Wall. Goes back up. Marcin Gortat again. He's got 6.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
And the Raptors call time here.
Valanciunas, a young big man with some offensive promise. He can score on the left block. He's developing a nice touch from mid-range. Very intriguing player with that size and skill set.
And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. DeJuan Blair, he's checked in for Gortat. Humphries comes in for Nene. Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Paul Pierce. And Miller's subbed in for John Wall. A new group in now for the Raptors. Tyler Hansbrough's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Patterson comes in for Johnson. Williams, he's checked in for Ross. And it's Vasquez in for Kyle Lowry. Now here's Beal, following the miss by Lewis Williams. Porter a screen on Hansbrough. Beal the pass to Blair. Miller against DeRozan. Shot, high post. Here's Humphries, makes it off the glass. And the Wizards lead by 8.
So far on the glass, it hasn't even been close.
Yeah, they're taking it to him. I mean, just getting physical. Like, it feels like they've gotten every rebound, Clark.
Now here's Vasquez. The feed to DeRozan. On the wing, Williams. Good.
2 points. Lou Williams.
Wizards leading by 6. Miller outside. Blair the screen. And Beal kicks to Miller. Beal dishes to Porter. Williams against Miller. And there's the call on Lewis Williams. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul, 3rd team foul.
Miller outside. Miller with another miss.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Toronto working the ball around now. Williams with the ball, and it's Miller picking him up. Humphries with the steal. Fires from 14. That's good from Porter on the assist from Miller. Porter's got his first basket.
Kevin, they've been playing with an awful lot of energy here, getting a lot of offensive rebounds. That's always an indicator of hustle and energy.
Patterson a screen on Miller. Vasquez passes to Patterson. He kicks to Vasquez. He dishes it to DeRozan. Clock at 4. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Here's Beal. Misses from short range.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Vasquez. And the Raptors tack on 2 more.
And they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy.
Wizards leading by 3. Porter with the screen for Miller. Pass to Beal. Humphries with a screen on Williams. Here's Beal. Here's Blair. Can't get it to go. And Toronto will go the other way with it. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Big time is right, Clark. A lot of momentum here offensively.
Now the Wizards with it. Miller outside. He feeds it to Beal. Blair, a screen on Williams. Kicks it to Porter. Dishes it to Miller. The Wizards lead by 3.
And he gets a 3 of his own. Good answer there.
Yeah, and he's not scared to trade shots like that.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Wizards out front. They're up by 3. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Wizards?
And the key has been the second chance points. You look at this team, the hustle that they play with, very impressive in that first quarter.
Well, it's showing up on the scoreboard. I mean, you get second chance points like that, it can add to your totals and also demoralize your opponent.
Raptors trail by 3. Well, the Toronto Raptors guys looking at a rebrand for a team starting next season to celebrate their 20th anniversary in the league. Boy, time flies. New colors, Steve, and a new logo.
Yeah, they'd even considered a name change, but decided to stick with the Raptors. But a chance perhaps to go with that bird of prey connotation rather than a dinosaur.
So for Toronto right now, Williams is out there with Vasquez. Then there's Tyler Hansbrough. Then it's DeRozan, and it's Patterson in at the 4 spot. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, DeMar DeRozan, with great size at the shooting guard position, recently he's looked to exploit that advantage in the post. He said, quote, I looked at it as, quote, if I get better at it now, that's going to be a benefit for me later. Guys, he's already seeing the dividends paid.
Getting close range buckets and getting to the line, Doris. That's helping his efficiency. Thanks. And he gets it to go. 6 points for Wall.
And you go back to when the Raptors came into existence in 1995, it was Jurassic Mania, thanks to the hit movie at that time. That influenced the fan vote when it came to the team's name, but I think the Torontosaurus theme may soon go extinct.
Here's Patterson, following the basket by John Wall. And Hansbrough kicks to Vasquez. 2 on the clock. Here's Williams. Rebound, Washington.
Well, if this game comes down to the rebounding battle, they'll be the ones coming out on top.
Yeah, they've been really strong in the paint, battling the glass. Well, you talk about the branding of this Raptors team, the new uniforms. Of course, we saw the Toronto-bred rapper Drake at a lot of their games sitting courtside, and they had the playoff run last year. This is, I think, an up-and-coming franchise with a lot of appeal.
It's DeRozan with the drive. On target from 13 feet. DeRozan's got 17 now.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Wall against Williams. Wall dishes to Blair. Rebound by Vasquez. Raptors trail by 3. Here's DeRozan, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, that's what you call early offense.
Williams against Wall. Blair the screen. Wall attacking. He used that pick to perfection. Wall's got 4 points in the quarter.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. On the wing, Williams, covered by Wall. Patterson setting the pick for Williams. Here's Vasquez. Back to Williams. Here's Vasquez. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Nobody near Williams. That falls. Great assist by Vasquez. On 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Miller, the pass to Wall. He's looking for Blair and finds him. And that one's good. And the Wizards lead by 2.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Hansbrough, a screen on Porter. And DeRozan. Here we go. Deflects the pass. It's stolen by Wall. Now here's Porter. Guarded closely. Humphries kicks to Porter. The Wizards working the ball around now. Miller with the ball. Williams picks him up. Wall's shot is off. Toronto's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting.
Tyler Hansbrough, known as Psycho T back at North Carolina. Big-time banger, seeks contact offensively, and draws a lot of fouls, too.
Assist goes to
So it's Washington now. Outside, Wall. Blair, a screen on Williams, and Wall. Here we go now. Porter kicks to Wall. The dish to Blair. Clock at 6. Here's Miller, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
You know, last season was a difficult one for Andre Miller. Blow up between him and the Denver Nuggets coach Brian Shaw after Shaw sat him and cut short his consecutive games played streak, which stood at 239 games. And in that fallout, Miller sat out a month and a half of the season before moving on.
First free throw is good.
And Miller ending up with the Wizards at the trade deadline. A big upgrade for them at the backup point guard position. Even at 38 years of age, Miller, with that old man game, still pretty effective.
Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Gortat's checked in for Blair. Nene comes in for Chris Humphries. And Pierce subbed in for Porter. Both free throws good for Miller. And talk about that consecutive game streak for Miller. Remarkably durable.
Yeah, you know, he went over a decade without having a missed game due to injury, Kevin. He's got a ground-bound game. That serves you well when you're talking about durability because you're not putting as much pressure on your
A made shot from Kyle Lowry. Wall dishes to Miller. Feeds to Nene. And he banks in the layup. Nene's got 11 points. For Toronto, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Johnson sends the screen for Lowry. Johnson kicks to Lowry. That one falls, coming off Johnson's feed. 8 points for Kyle Lowry.
They pulled up from mid-range more often than not. They've buried.
You know, that's not always the number one option, but if the defense gives that to you, you got to take it.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
After a 5-year absence from the playoffs, the Wizards were able to get back into the postseason last year. Big step for the franchise.
For Washington, they've gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. It's Wall with the drive. Pass to Pierce. Nene with the screen on Ross. 6 on the shot clock. Pierce against Ross. They get it back. The Raptors have gone 6 of 8 from the field in the second quarter. Now here's Vasquez, covered by Wall. Vasquez passes to Johnson. It's stolen by Wall. And here we go. Washington fast break. Wall with the ball, and it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
Boy, that's embarrassing, guys. He's going to have a hard time living that one down later when they watch it on tape.
Beal's checked in for Andre Miller. Toronto's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Johnson sends the screen for Lowry. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Lowry's got 6 in the quarter.
A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
Wall dishes to Nene. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Guys, this offense very effective.
Going right at him.
And this is where you just start picking apart the defense, and now you take their confidence away. You can really take control of this game.
Now here's Wall. Kicks to Beal. Takes the 3, and he gets it to go. Beal's got 5 points so far.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
There's a good screen. Here's Ross. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Raptors lead by 1. For Washington, they've gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Wall passes to Nene. From 11 feet away, Beal from long range. And again, Washington with the triple.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
I just love the mentality they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing anything. They're moving it side to side and working to get a good shot.
Toronto calls timeout.
Well, you saw it a little at the back of his rookie year, and he continued it last season. Brad Beal, he's going to be a dynamic scoring guard in this league.
And here's Vasquez. Outside Lowry. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. And Bradley Beal listed at 6'5" in his shoes, but he plays bigger.
Yeah, he's from a football family. He'll throw his weight around to get a rebound. He still needs to work on getting to the basket. But I think this guy has a tremendous future.
Here's Vasquez after the made shot from Bradley Beal. Vasquez with it. Left side Lowry. Passes it to Vasquez. 5 on the clock. Deep 2 from Ross. Rebound, Washington. Now here's Wall. He's got 8. Nene kicks to Gortat, the 15-footer, and he nails the jumper. Gortat's got 8 points.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining him up defensively.
Now here's Valanciunas. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. That is good.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Well, they're in battle down in the paint.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
Kyle Lowry, an unrestricted free agent this offseason. Last year playing really well in a contract year. Question is, can he maintain that level of play now with this new deal?
So it's Washington now. 4-point game. Here's Nene. And the layup is good. Nene's got 13 points.
Now they'll take as many of those high percentage shots as they can get, guys.
Toronto's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. Here's Lowry. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line. 12 points for him.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, you know, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
Gortat with a screen on Lowry. And Beal kicks to Gortat. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Lowry against Pierce. Outside Lowry. Pierce against Ross. Shot clock at 6. And that one's good.
Man, he has been their unquestioned leader offensively this quarter.
A career best performance from Kyle Lowry last season, posting best in scoring and assists. A lot of people felt like he was the player most egregiously overlooked when it came to the All-Star game.
And Lowry, arguably the Raptors' best player last season. Despite that, Steve, he was the subject of repeated trade rumors.
Well, it was such a curious situation for Toronto. On one hand, you know, they were trying to rebuild at the beginning of the season, maybe get a top draft pick, and then all of a sudden they started playing well. In the end, no trade. You know, Lowry becomes their best player, and then, you know, he leads them to a top 3 seed in the playoffs. So it's a strange season.
Washington's gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. It's Wall with the drive. Ross grabs the board.
Difficult shot from mid-range, and the defense was all over.
And there's Vasquez on the assist by Johnson. Johnson's got 3 assists now in this one. Washington has gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Outside, Wall. Now the pass to Beal. The feed to Nene. From the left block and off the glass. That one's good. Nene's got 6 here in this quarter. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, it's tight.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, both teams still kind of feeling each other out here, and neither team has been able to find an edge in this game.
Second quarter ends in a tight one. Wizards lead by 1. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin and Dwayne. A very tight game here. What's the number one thing you need to do in the second half to try to get out ahead and break this thing open?
Well, number one is we got to make sure we get in a defensive disposition. You know, right now we're kind of trading buckets. We're anticipating, putting them on the foul line. So we got to play from an anticipatory style of defense, whereas we're not reacting to where they have us on our heels.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.